Hi everyone, this is Danielle Lewis, owner and CTO, that's Chief Travel Officer of Selfish Me Travel. I am here with the latest travel industry news, okay? I apologize, I did not do a travel industry news update in early July. So this one's gonna be pretty long. So anyway, on Friday, July 30th, I posted a breaking news report about Mexico, particularly Mazatlan City and Quintana Roo State, which includes Cancun, Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen, Tulum. Please ignore it. That information was not a mandate, according to the Quintana Roo Tourism Board. They had to send out a blast notice to international news agencies, tour operators, agencies, consortiums, everybody, because the news had been misinterpreted by local news outlets and then picked up by international media. So basically, they sent out a clarification email in regards to Cancun, Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and every other major tourist area in Quintana Roo, that guests do not need to show a negative COVID test or vaccination card in order to check into their hotel. They do not. Restaurants and bars located outside of hotels must reduce their maximum capacity to 50% in order to remain open until midnight. Select main avenues in downtown Cancun are, at this time, closing from midnight to 5 a.m. So that's whole blocks, whole avenues. The Mexican government does not require proof of vaccination for dining venues, though you should be aware that some establishments may ask for it. And masks and social distancing requirements remain in place for all public spaces. So there you are with that news. Next is the UK. England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales opened its borders to vaccinated USA passport holders on August 2nd, okay? Also last week, the EU warned against visiting some of the most popular Greek islands, Mykonos, Santorini, Crete, and Rhodes, downgrading them to dark red. The Greek government has had to deploy extra police to party islands such as Mykonos and Eos, and Celestyal Cruises has suspended all cruises after August due to the spike in new COVID-19 Delta variant cases in the southern Aegean seas and port closures, and those islands in particular. On July 21st, France declared that new COVID test requirements for things like, now you need a special rapid test while you're standing in line to ride up to the Eiffel Tower or to visit French museums or movie theaters or indoor, public spaces. It's the first step in a new campaign. Italy is now requiring the Green Pass, which is proof of vaccination or COVID-19 recovery or a test within the 48 hours for all indoor spaces. So again, museums, restaurants inside, all public spaces in, Italy is full of museums. So you're going to have to provide proof of vaccine or a test that was taken, negative test within 48 hours. That's what they're requiring from now on. Germany will now require all inbound international visitors who are unvaccinated to provide proof of a negative COVID test upon entry. Previously, Germany had been requiring all unvaccinated air travelers to to show proof of a negative test before getting on the plane. But now the requirement extends to all travelers crossing a German border, regardless of their mode of transportation, and that includes cruises and trains. If you are traveling to Europe or any other country for that matter, your layover airport can be a critical meltdown. You might not be allowed into the layover country or exit from the layover country to your final destination. You should hire a travel consultant, travel advisor like me, and you will be kept up to date on all things COVID and much, much more. COVID cases are rising. Of course, it's been all in the news in the States as the Delta variant tightens its grip, with Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Florida, and Nevada leading the way with at least double the national average of new cases per capita. Death rates, thankfully, have only increased slightly, but 99.5 of COVID-19 deaths are to people who have not been vaccinated. Okay, most escorted tour companies, even within the USA, are requiring that you show proof of being fully vaccinated. The CDC and Norwegian Cruise Lines lost the appeal to Florida, was a couple of weeks ago. So all cruise ships leaving from a Florida port will be vaccine optional. Now, that's great according to the governor, but some of the cruise ships like Royal Caribbean has restricted access to certain areas, like part of the dining room, some bars, certain decks in the theater, certain times for ice skating rink for non-vaccinated passengers, and they are not allowed in the casino, the solarium, the spa, and none of the parties or game shows. Also, non-vaxxed passengers must purchase travel insurance that covers a minimum of $25,000 per person in medical expense coverage and $50,000 per person in travel expenses like medical evacuation, etc. So a lot of the other cruise lines will follow suit with all these restrictions for non-vaccinated passengers, or they will continue to operate in foreign ports. They will not leave from Florida, okay? Possibly Texas either. Of course, in some countries, the non-vax passengers will not even be allowed off the ship. In other countries, non-vax passengers can only leave the ship if they are booked on a bubble tour. And a bubble tour is basically a cruise line approved shore excursion, which must adhere to social distancing and mask mandates. And that tour may be limited in activities and access to public spaces, because again, you're non-vaxxed. Many countries are revising their entry protocols and will continue to do so in the immediate future due to different vaccines or the mixed vaccine options in some countries. So in the US, we had to get the same shot. If you got Pfizer, you got Pfizer again. Well, we didn't have to, but in other countries, like even Canada, they said, okay, you can do AstraZeneca and you can do Johnson & Johnson, or you can do AstraZeneca and Pfizer, or Moderna and AstraZeneca. So, and a lot of countries had initially said, no, you need to get the same shot. So now they're just revising, and you just don't know what they're going to do. So again, if you hire a travel advisor, we can check all that out for you. We have access. We have insider access. Airlines in the USA have been canceling flights left and right on the day of departure. It's not just American Airlines. It's been Spirit. It's been Southwest. It's been Delta. Due to the lack of availability of pilots and flight attendants or ground crew to do the inspections, to do the proper inspections and maintenance. So in addition, It's hurricane season in the Caribbean, so flight cancellations are inevitable. Please also remember that there are still staff shortages around the world, and even the luxury hotels cannot offer the usual daily housekeeping, entertainments, and etc. Remember that more than 200 million people have been infected with COVID-19 and 4.2 million around the world have died from it. Lower your expectations of what used to be. We are still in a pandemic. The prices may be back to 2019, but the service level is not. So be kind, be patient, and be flexible when traveling. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm Danielle Lewis of Selfish Me Travel. Thank you. Bye-bye. Peace.